As mentioned a moment ago, Jorge Martin set to start from the front row of the grid today. He's lining up second on the grid. Let's get some pre-race thoughts from him with Simon.
Jorge, thanks for coming out of the garage and talking to us. You've looked great at the first two opening races, you know, really competitive at both. Looking really good here. I heard you say that you felt good in the dry coming into this race. Tell us about how your weekend's gone until now.
Yeah, sure. From the first moment out of the track, for sure when there were some mixed conditions, I was struggling a little bit to keep the confidence, but when it was full dry, I was really competitive. Rear tire, it was the main problem for today, but afterwards when they reduced the race 20 laps, we were going to put the soft. But in the first case, we were going to put the medium. So I was confident and focused on the last, say, 7-8 laps. But finally, yeah, raining, we need to wait. The problem is that we didn't try, but I mean, I hear that there's a lot of grip here. In wet conditions, I feel great with my Ducati, and I'm expecting, yeah, let's see if we can race, and if we can race for sure, I think we can be up in the front.
Jorge, thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks Simon, thanks to Jorge Martin. Always good of him to come and have a chat. Of course, these riders will be feeling the tension. Always difficult scenario when you're not quite sure when you're going to get the call to arms and have to go out and race in these, at the moment, treacherous conditions. We can see the safety car. Wow, there's just been a massive bolt of lightning light up the grey and gloomy sky outside of our commentary box. You can probably hear as well, we can through our headsets, yet more big claps of thunder. I feel so sorry for the organisers here in Mandalika, of course. There's been so much work behind the scenes, not just over the last few months or so, over many years, to bring MotoGP back to this part of the world. Friday night and Saturday night, I was looking at the rehearsals for the new grid ceremony, which we saw for the first time in MotoGP in Qatar, where we get to see the Tower of Champions, the Champions Tower Trophy, the race-winning prize here in Mandalika. Of course, the president himself is present here today, was going to be part of that special new grid ceremony. Unfortunately, these torrential rain conditions have curtailed all that. Such a shame for so many people. Lewis, of course, you've got to understand and get a taste of just how popular MotoGP is in this part of the world. You attended that amazing pre-event where the riders did a parade in downtown Jakarta. It was like Beatlemania. It was like the Rolling Stones were in town. These guys are treated like rock stars. Whoa! Well, we said that there was some claps of thunder and bolts of lightning. What a get that is by our camera crews out on circuit. We should give actually a special mention to our camera operators as well, because
Rather
they're
you
out
than
there.
me, guys.
Absolutely. What a shot that was. That just gives you an idea of just how troublesome the weather is proving here. But yeah, coming back to the pre-event, Lewis, you were pleasured enough to be there and witness firsthand just how massively popular MotoGP here is in this part of the world. It really was like Beatlemania. Look at that. Off in the distance, we are getting the thunderstorms that were forecast.
Yes, it's a spectacular sight, or not the spectacular sight that I think anyone
Our
wanted to
commentary
watch
box now is actually shaking because this thunder is so fierce.
Yeah, I was about to say, the parade that we saw on Wednesday was like nothing I've ever experienced. Neither was that. The feeling under our shoes in this commentary box, which was shaking with this electrical storm. Yeah, it was a tremendous day on Wednesday, it has to be said. The reception the riders got was like nothing I've ever experienced. The parade that took place early that morning in Jakarta from the President's Palace, the riders got to meet the President here of Indonesia and have some breakfast with him before they headed off through the streets. And I spoke about this earlier on the weekend. There was a real Tour de France sort of vibe to it, with the fans lining the side of the road, with the ability to give high fives and fist bumps to the riders. They put on a great show as well for the fans who came out to watch. We saw Marc Marquez, Pecco Bagnaia, Jack Miller doing burnouts and giving them some real entertainment. And you just got the impression that this was amongst the best experience of some of these people's lives. They really do live and breathe MotoGP in this part of the world. Perhaps only football rivals MotoGP and motorcycle racing as a whole for popularity in this part of the world. They really do get behind it, and it's fitting that MotoGP does race in this part of the world. And yeah, the reception the riders got was incredible. Paul Espargaro spoke, as you mentioned a moment ago, that they felt like rock stars coming through the city centre, and were then essentially mobbed when they got to the nearby Kempinski Hotel when the parade came to a close. it was a memorable start to this week in Indonesia. The welcome we've had from the locals and from the organisers has been absolutely top-notch. As you say, they've put in an enormous amount of work to really bring this circuit up to standard, right the way from the pre-season test. Even in the last month, they've really done a lot of hard work on the infrastructure around here, the roads around the circuit, the grandstands. Even a month ago, this circuit was unrecognisable to what we have now. They really have done a tremendous job as well with the track surface. It's perhaps not the ultimate solution that we want, but it is certainly a step in the right direction.
So Alicia Spargo and Alex Rins, all they can do is play the waiting game and hope for a break in this weather. As we said, those thunderclaps are getting so ferocious. Our commentary box was literally shaking. That's no exaggeration. I'm actually relieved that our dear colleague Amy Reynolds is actually not here. She's pretty fond of the old thunder. I hope you're well back in the UK, Amy. Of course, we're looking forward to hooking up with you again when the European season kicks off in Portimao. Over to Sam and Freddie. You will be relieved, I'm sure, watching from home that you are back home in the UK and not experienced this torrential thunderstorms. To continue to give the latest updates then to the paddock and the pit lane. Fabio Quartararo still just trying to keep himself cool, keep himself relaxed. Will he hopefully get to start from his first pole position since the Catalonia battle in Barcelona last June? Now that here we go then. The pit lane is not going to open until 15:45 local time at the earliest. So the next update we are going to get will be in 25 minutes. So obviously, as you'd expect, the race organisers, the Mandalika organisation, in cooperation with the FIM, with Dorna and IRTA, they are giving ourselves the best possible chance of having this Grand Prix of Indonesia to take place. But the pit lane will not open then now before 15:45 local time. There's going to be constant monitoring, of course, of the weather forecast. We've got the most sophisticated weather prediction systems in place. Let's pop back down to pit lane and talk to Simon Crayfire, the first rookie into Q2 this year. A truly brilliant performance in Q1 yesterday by Fabio Di Giannantonio, only beaten by Pecco Bagnaia. When you looked at the list of names that were behind Vigil, it was a truly astonishing performance to get himself through into Q2. He was due to start the race from 11th place. Let's hear from the Gphariini man down in pit lane with Simon.
Fabio, your effort yesterday in qualifying made us all smile. It was pretty impressive considering the amount of time you've had on a MotoGP bike. I'd like to ask you, well, I'd like to hear what that was like, you know, putting that lap together, and what it's like sitting here about to go out in a wet race soon, and you've never ridden in full wet. So tell us about those things.
Well, I was so happy about yesterday because from Qatar we did a great step on the setup of the bike, and I was really confident, especially on the front, so I could push really hard on especially in the qualifying for time attack. Honestly, in Q2 I was not, let's say, 100% because I did FP3, FP4, Q1 also in Q2, so I was a bit tired, honestly. For this also I couldn't reply the 31.6 of the Q1, but yeah, it was a great lap, honestly. I was super happy about that. And yeah, I'm here waiting. Honestly, it's a pity that at the moment we cannot race because the conditions are what they are. But I'm just waiting. For sure, before a race, you are always so focused and try to be in the zone. But now everything is a bit lost, you know, because we are just waiting. We don't know what to do. Maybe we go out, maybe we go in, maybe we cannot go. It's a pity. And also, I would like to race in a normal condition, with wet but normal condition, because I would like to try the MotoGP bike on rain. But at the moment, seems a bit too much, let's say.
Fabio, I imagine the team and Ducati have so much experience in the wet, they just put a setting that they tell you will work. Do you have any input on how you want the setting, or you just trust them and go ride it?
Well, for sure we start from our base setup of the dry, and we do all the modifyings for the wet. But honestly, I don't have any feedbacks. Also, then said to me, go out and enjoy, because we don't know anything. So also for me, it will be my first time, and yeah, I'm waiting.
Fabio, thank you for your time. Good luck this afternoon.
Thank you.
Scenes you didn't expect to see at 3:15 on race day Sunday in the Indonesian Grand Prix. entire pit lane is this lady in the audience here.
Well, to be honest, let's hope this works. Apparently this is a local rain ritual.
Desperate times and all
Banish
that.
away these clouds. Let's hope this lady's efforts pay off, because we all want to see a MotoGP race take place here in Indonesia.
Well, if the rain stops and we do get a race, she should get the 25 points, quite frankly.
Yeah, absolutely. She got a special award at the end of the season from the FIM and from Dorna. Let's keep our fingers crossed that we are going to get the race that we've all come here for, the first Grand Prix of Indonesia in 25 years. There you can see though at the bottom of your screens, pit lane will not open before 15:45 local time.
The bigger issue we may have, in addition to the obvious issue, which is the quantity of rain that's falling, is the sunlight. It's due to get dark here around about 6:30, just before 6:30 local time. So we've got around 3 hours to play with before it starts to get dark here, and you just wouldn't be able to race, even if it was bone dry. So we are going to get to the stage at some point where that does become a deciding factor. But of course, at the moment, still no reason to panic necessarily too yet. We've still got plenty of time for conditions to hopefully improve. And of course, with Moto3 and Moto2 having already raced out today, this is rather different to perhaps a scenario that might be coming into people's heads of Silverstone in 2018. We have only one more race to go. Marc Marquez was hoping to start it. Speaking to our colleagues at the Zone with Spanish TV, he's been speaking that he feels good, a little bit stunned, but he is okay. Of course, we saw Marc Marquez on his feet and, of course, heading to the hospital by the air ambulance, but under his own steam, on his own 2 feet. And we, of course, hope to see Marc Marquez back in action in 2 weeks' time when we return to Tomás Rio Hondo for the Argentinian Grand Prix, another circuit, much like the race that follows that, the Circuit of the Americas. For the Grand Prix of the Americas, 2 circuits that Marc Marquez has had great success at in the past.
Yeah, good to hear. Mark did make his way back to the paddock, and he was able to talk to Spanish TV, as Lewis said. He was stunned. We've all been stunned by his crash-strewn weekend in here. That bruising crash in the warm-up session this morning at turn 7, when he was violently flicked a good 15 feet in the air. I mean, it was one of the worst crashes I've ever seen. I've been around this MotoGP paddock since 1996. The good news, of course, was that Mark was relatively okay. He was concussed. The bad news rolled out of this Indonesian Grand Prix, which at the moment, unfortunately, has not yet got going. We are waiting patiently, as is the entire pit lane, hoping and praying that we will get the race action underway as soon as we possibly can. There's Razlan Razli, of course, from the With You RNF team. We just saw there Darren Binder looking as relaxed and as cool and calm as ever. Nothing will faze for the South African at all. Lynn Jarvis there looking on as well. Will Fabio Quartararo get the chance to start from that pole position? The 1:31.067 that he set just over 24 hours ago now, as yet another big bolt of lightning illuminates the sky out of our commentary box position here. And then again, there's another big clap of thunder. Unfortunately, the forecasts were absolutely spot on. When we walked into the mission there, the raised eyebrows from Malaysia Spargaro's crew chief Antonio Jimenez there, the body language as well, hand on hips, kind of sums up where we're at really, unfortunately, here in Indonesia. Everybody just playing the waiting game and looking skywards, and keeping close eyes on the weather radars, the weather technology. Can we glean anything from that little map there as we again look at all the local dignitaries? I really do hope that we can get some MotoGP race action in here, because it would be the perfect way to end what's been such a brilliant weekend all round. As Lewis touched upon, we had a fantastic welcome when we first arrived here in Jakarta, the parade of 20 riders with President Mr. Widodo.